Hello, this is the 68th lecture of the Semantic SEO course, and in this lecture we'll try to understand page-wide characteristics as much as possible. First thing is that you should understand the distributional semantics and the statistical linguistics while examining your article to understand its overall character, because qualitative and the quantitative algorithms to understand the relevance and responsiveness of an article, they work together, and checking the quantities is easier than the quality or the qualitative arguments, because we just count words or the occurrences or the appearances, which is very much easier for us. And to be able to do that, you can actually use these specific multi-search and multi-jump extension. If I write here the voter, benefit, or also the percentage, and let's say research, study, and maybe statistic, and some others as well, we can maybe use the university word as well. And if I press directly the enter, we will see that any existing appearance or sample of these specific words. The thing that you should understand is that these things will be appearing page-wide. In every section of this page, nearly in every paragraph, we will see the word voter, benefit, university, study, research, or something like that, which means that this is the overall character of entire article all the time. As you see, it always appearing in this area. One more thing is that, as I said, this project might be redirected to another website soon. That's why I'm especially showing these examples from this website. We have many more samples, to be honest. I might have even more than 3,000 content briefs. Definitely more. But the thing here is that, that's why you see that these type of some banners started to appear in the website, which means that you can see these type of banners can start to actually leak the page rank and the authority of the website to the another source or the brand, and it might affect the overall rankability of the website in the future as well. And when we look at the page side characteristic of this source, you will realize that we mostly use numeric values and percentages. We always actually use some certain types of studies, researches, and one more time, again different types of, let's say, examples, like a study conducted at the Peking University entitled Effects of the Dehydration and the Rehydration Followed 12 Men who abstained from drinking water for 36 hours. If I go to the next research, when I find it, according to the study published in the European Journal of the Nutrition, certain mineral waters rich in magnesium and sodium, and as you remember, we already checked magnesium together with the enzymatic or enzyme relation things, and together with the mineral water before, and we had a kind of relation there. And frequency and the consistency during the constipation, especially in infants and etc. So my main point here is that if you understand phrase-based indexing and the phrase co-occurrence for understanding the context flow, you will realize that certain types of words, they appear page side, but some of them appear only in the certain section of the page. If I look at the word constipation, for instance, you will realize that it will be appearing especially a certain section of the web page. And if I choose the water, for instance, this specific co-occurrence, it will be appearing only inside the constipation section. If I look at the next section, you won't see any yellow mark here because we don't have constipation that much. From time to time we have it in the context of digestion, and we mentioned that actually constipation is related to digestion, and we talk about the order of these specific headings while we are creating the brief or while examining the content brief as well. But as you see, if I go to the digestion in this section, and if I show it, if you look at the co-occurrences in this case, and if I go that section directly, it's a little bit too much scrolling. And if I come to this area, you will realize that digestion actually appears more than directly the constipation in this section. And if I go other areas, nearly both of them don't appear anymore. And if I use the word, let's say, immunity or the immune system or something like that, I have some certain type of other co-occurrences directly for the immunity related or immune system related sections as well. So my main point here is that while we are focusing on specific co-occurrences as much as possible, and while using always uniquely designed images, but we will be talking about the image design later, and while we are using it, we always create a kinds of contextual dance for certain type of sections. If I use the word stone or the kidney, you will again realize that it appears in certain type of areas. If I choose, for instance, one of the contextual words in this area, let's say uric acid or cysteine. If I choose it, for instance, we see that the word acid appears multiple times, but if I use with the uric, it appears only inside the kidney stone, which means that water, kidney stone, and the uric acid are united together in this area. If I search for this, uric, let's say, water, and I can even search for stone instead of kidney stone actually. And here we have uric acid stones, symptoms and the treatment, and water is also here. Treatment is drinking plenty of water, which means it is one of the benefits. As you know, inside the generative AI, we have chain of reasoning, which means we are able to connect these things to each other while inferring further information. Natural language inferring, it is one of the important sections as well. As much as processing, understanding, and generation of natural language, inferring is important too. In this area, while focusing on this type of co-occurrences, we are creating a different type of contextual domain for only that subsection. If I actually represent what we do in this area with a paint diagram, let's say, we have a macro context, and this macro context will be appearing in all the sections of the web page directly. Then we have certain type of subsections, and always we see that even if macro context terms appear page side, some certain type of words, let's say this is stone, it appears here, but it doesn't appear directly in this area. Here we have immune system. But when we look at the water benefit or drinking or during morning, etc., they appear actually in all of the sections. Basically, we play with the statistical linguistics and distributional semantics by distributing these things for creating new co-occurrences. Distributional semantics, or let's say quantitative algorithms of the search engines, they are easier to work or trigger and to be able to give the initial ranking scores. When it comes to initial rankings, it is important to give richer and more dense co-occurrence matrices to reflect our context in a better way. If you're able to do this in a really good way, your initial rankings will be better according to ranking algorithms. If you have a good initial ranking, all the other ranking iterations, they will always be giving you a better ranking score as well. That's why initial rankings, they are probably the most important thing in the ranking algorithms, because you have a higher initial ranking, it will always be affecting you in the future steps, in the future algorithms as well. And that's why we are trying to give this type of example nouns. When we tell mineral crystals, we give calcium, uric acid, strobite or cysteine here in this specific example to be able to give a better, let's say, relevance and the combination of these terms, and it will be reflected for relevance calculation in this area as well. Thank you. In the next lectures, we will try to understand sentence structures a little bit further.